And I am like excited to hear her story. I just know that this girl is on fire. I don't even know how long you're going to coach, but I'm really excited. I'm going to let you take it away and share your story and then your tips and what got you to 7-star qualifying and elite.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks for having me. So it's so funny because I've been getting that question a lot. So I signed up as a coach October of 2013. And then I think I hit Emerald within like 2 months, and then like 2 months after that, Diamond. And so everyone keeps asking me like, how did you do it? How did you do it? And I'm like, I don't know. So I try to sit down and think about, because I don't know if you guys ever talk about Danny Johnson's gems, and if you like know your gem. I'm a ruby sapphire. So like I'm really, really driven by goals and recognition. So for me, like that's kind of just what's been my driving factor. But to give you a little backstory, I am a mom to 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son, and I'm married. And before I had my kids, I worked at AOL. I was doing content stuff for them. And then after I had my daughter, I got laid off, and I started blogging. I became a mommy blogger, which led to freelance writing. And then I got into just working for myself, doing different jobs. I like started my own cake business, and then I was like doing social media. So I was always trying to be an entrepreneur, but not really ever being that successful at it. I mean, I was doing it, but I wasn't making money. And after my first daughter, I had postpartum depression, and I gained, a bunch of weight from I was always an athlete growing up, but I never really knew how nutrition wise, like what to do. And, so after I had my daughter and I had postpartum depression, I didn't really make an effort to lose weight. It just was, I was depressed. And then I got pregnant again. I kind of was out of my depression, but I think it was still a little there. And then I didn't have it after my son, which I was grateful for. So I decided I was going to lose weight. I was like, I'm done like feeling like this. And of course, like 2 consecutive pregnancies, not losing any of the weight. So I'd put on, I think I was like 190 after my son, like the last doctor's appointment. And so I'm 5'5". So, I was not very proportionate and just very upset at myself. So I started going to the gym and eating healthy, and I was breastfeeding, and I wasn't seeing any weight, like barely anything come off. And so I was frustrated. And my husband's boss at the time was actually a nutritionist. So she sat down with me. She's like, you need to start tracking your food, because what you telling me you're eating, it's healthy, but I think you're eating too much of it. So I was like making like big salads with like quinoa and, just like I think my salads are like 600 calories. So I just had no idea. So I started blogging about my weight loss journey, because I felt like if I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to be held accountable, and this is going to keep me accountable. Plus it'll, help my freelance jobs. I can write about my weight loss. So that was in May of 2013. So as soon as I started tracking, like I just started dropping weight like crazy. I was dropping weight every week, and I was going to the gym. She taught me how to do like Tabata workouts and getting my heart rate up. And I was running a lot because we had just moved, and we didn't have a gym membership anymore. So I was running a lot, and I hate running, but that was like the only thing that I was determined. And every time I would lose weight and I would keep track of it, like it just kept me going, and I could blog in like the next month. So I was doing like, my blog is supernovamom.com. So my blog was going basically like every month I would do like, like 6 months postpartum, 7 months postpartum, 8 months postpartum. And I would like put my picture and my stats. So every month postpartum I would write. And so like, it just kept me going. And then about 6 months into it, I was like we lived in this like little community, and it was like this rinky-dink gym, and there was a bulletin board, and somebody had put a sign up that said like, we're all going to meet to do T25 together, like come meet at 5 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning, and we'll all meet and do T25. And so I was like, oh, cool. I want to like do a workout class together. I miss my workout classes. So I didn't know what it was or what I was getting myself into. And it wasn't even a coach. It was just this guy who had T25. And there was like 5 of us. And every morning I would get up and I would go do T25. And I loved Shaun T, and I loved it. And I didn't even know about coaching. until one of my friends from high school started commenting on all my pictures of like, you know, he was obviously forming me. And so he started showing up in my news feed more. And then I saw he like quit his job and he was a full-time coach. And I was really like against, you know, any like network marketing. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like, ugh, people like that are annoying. And so one day I just like asked him, I was like, hey, like, how'd you quit your job? Because also during this time, my husband had been unemployed for like 9 months. He got his company that he worked for folded, and my mom was like paying our rent, and which was so embarrassing for me. And I was making freelance writer money, which is nothing. So I was like curious, you know, how did you quit your job? And he's telling me, and he did the whole GoPro thing. He's like, I'm going to send you a video. Let's set up a time, and, you know, I'll call you. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to talk to him on the phone. So like, I was like, I have a headache. And so he was like, okay, let's set up a new time. So we set up a new time. And so kind of by then I was just kind of exploring and really doing the research. And he said the magic words, you know, like, oh, you're doing everything a Beachbody coach does. You're blogging, you're helping people, but you're not getting paid. And I was like the magic words because I was like, you know, we're looking at our bank account, just like go down, you know, it's very small. And my husband didn't have a job. So I reluctantly, I told him, I don't want to sign up. I was like, I don't want to do Shakeology. Do I have to do that Shakeology thing? Because I do my own protein shakes. I don't want to do Shakeology. He's like, well, it's kind of a big thing, part of it. You kind of have to do it. So let me send you something to try. So he sent it. I tried it. I liked it. But I couldn't afford it because I had no money. So I signed up with the $40. And then I had gained enough like chatter on Facebook of my T25 because I was blogging about T25. So I put out like, I was like, hey, I'm going to do a challenge group with T25. And so I got so many people interested in it that I made $500 my first month. I hit Success Club 14. And so I was able to use that money to buy Shakeology. And then I was like addicted. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I can't believe it. And so I just kind of like set the whole tone for my whole business. So I didn't really know what Success Club was really, but I knew I'd hit it. So then I bought T25. So my poor coach, I was like, oh my gosh, I owe you 2 Success Club points because I signed up for the $40 and then didn't buy anything for 2 weeks. So then I just kind of like took that momentum and just ran with it. I did every single night after my kids would go to bed, I would watch videos. I would go on YouTube. I would watch Lindsay Matway, and I've watched every single video in the Coach Online office that anyone can watch because I was just so obsessed with making this work for me. And so basically I did everything that they tell you to do, and I just set my goals. And I never set goals before. So that's a huge part of if you are trying to reach a rank, setting that goal for that rank and then reverse engineering it. So that what I mean is like, if you have set a rank goal or an income goal, you can go back and say, okay, how many people do I need to be inviting every single day to hit this goal? How many people do I need to, how many challenge packs do I got to sell? So basically for me, my non-negotiable of every month is Success Club 10. And I just kind of said, it doesn't matter, if I'm scrambling at the end of the month, I'm going to hit it. And I will go back to everyone who's told me no, and I will just invite them again. And I'll say something like, hey, I know you were interested before. I just wanted to reach out. I have a couple of spots left in my challenge group, and I know you were interested before. Let me know if you are. So if you make it about them and not about you and about the points, then usually, they'll be like, okay, I'm ready. Something like that. So setting those goals, those non-negotiables every month is a huge, huge thing for me. I do these little check boxes. I'm a visual person, and that's another one of my tips for you guys is visualization. I try to visualize what I want. So if I'm struggling at the end of the month, I just say to myself, I picture my online office, and I picture my logging in and seeing, I always do 12. I don't know why 12 is like my number. So, because it's kind of like, in case there's a return, like I have an extra like buffer. So I have this, I have a whiteboard and I have these check boxes. So in visualizing myself checking these off every month. So I wipe it clean every month, and I have kind of like my goal every month is to get this many Success Club points and sign this many coaches. And just having that, that really good feeling of checking things off. So every time I'm just checking it off, and I can visualize myself checking it off. And I know that sounds like weird, but if you like watch The Secret, or if you believe in any of that kind of stuff, like it's crazy how it works. And I just started this year an affirmation journal, like, and my big goal this year is to be 15 stars. So like every night I write in my journal, like what I want to be. So I write, I am a 15-star diamond. I am a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend. And I actually have this little sticky note of my goals from this year that I wrote. I wrote this, I think I wrote this before Summit. So it has like dates. I am a 2-star diamond on this date. And I didn't hit that date, but I eventually did. And I am, so like I always have like dates in mind and goals of where I'm going to be. And I think the one that I hit on time was, I think I hit the 3-star on time, because I had two of my diamonds on the same leg, so I couldn't get the bonus unless I hit 3-star by that date. So that was the one goal I hit on time. All the rest, they came a little bit after, but I still hit them. And then this is just, I write down my coaches' names that I want to work closer with, that I know are pushing for certain ranks. But another whiteboard that I have here is to keep track of my downline. And I update this like pretty weekly, because you'll see like I have people that are, the red means like inactive. The people that are green are emerald, and then I have my diamonds in blue. And this just kind of, and I'm not organized. Like I took the GEMS test and I had 2 emeralds. Like I'm not organized, but this is about as organized as I get. Just writing the names down so I can see them when I'm working. And then I have my visualization check here. So my $1 million check from Beachbody that I'm going to get. So I'm really big into visualizing what I want, and writing every day in my journal of projecting that, and having that feeling of what it's going to feel like when I hit my goals. And I know when I start to like get in a funk, because this business is so many peaks and valleys, and like when you get into one of those valleys and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I just was in a really bad one. Like I had hit elite, went 7-star qualifying, and I was like not happy. I was like, what is wrong with me? And I realized it's because I was feeling so overwhelmed with being put in that wall group with Lindsay, like all of these really amazing coaches. Like how am I ever going to, compete with people on that level of where I want to be? And it just took me going back to my affirmations, because I had slacked off, going back into my personal development, because usually when I feel like I'm in a funk, it's because I'm not doing personal development enough, and just going and then putting on blinders and just realizing like I got here because I was doing something right. So like it's so easy to compare ourselves to everybody else, and it's so easy to look at me and be like, oh my gosh, how did she do that in 14 months or however many months I've been doing this? But like if you didn't know me, that would, like if I didn't tell you my story about my blog, it would be like, that's amazing. But I had like a 6-month heads, like leg up on anybody who joined the same month I did. Like I was doing everything that a coach does for 6 months before I signed up. So of course it was easy for me to hit the ground running, because I was already putting in all the work. I didn't have to start off, getting people to trust me. They already did. They already knew me from my blog that I've been blogging for 2 years, and they already knew, that I was doing T25 for 2 months. They saw my transformation. So I think the hardest part about new coaches is that you have to get people to trust you. You have to, show your transformation. And sometimes that's hard because it takes a while to get to. So if you sign up, get a challenge pack, and you haven't started, it's going to be a little bit of a slower growth for you, but that doesn't mean you can't get to where you want to be. And I always tell that to my new coaches, and it's a lot of like plugging in and not getting anything in return. And then, just growing and growing and growing. And then one day you'll be like, oh my gosh, remember last year when it was just me and my husband on my team, and now I have a team of 300? Like it just takes the compound effect. If you haven't read that book, that's like a really, really good one. Another tip that I have, that goes along with goal setting is tracking. So I know like the business activity tracker, like I hated doing that. So I came up with my own like weekly tracker where I know that I can look week over week where I'm tracking my volume. I'm tracking how many Success Club points I have, how many people I have on my team earning Success Club points. I track my personal development minutes. I track my husband's business center and my second business center. And seeing that also helps me if I look and I think, gosh, this like nothing is moving, like my income isn't growing. If I look back, because I started doing that in June, and I go back to like June and it doesn't seem like my income is growing, but like if it has been, it's just very, very small increases. So tracking is so important. And when you start to get up into the higher ranks, you work with corporate on that, which is so scary because I have to like tell them how many people I'm inviting. I can't slack because that's just not like, I can't slack. I'm like a teacher's pet. So it's going to be interesting for me. And, another thing with that too, as far as like inviting, is being consistent. So I'll see like a lot of times people will like push really hard and get like Success Club, and then they slack off and then they don't hit it. And what happens is like you just lose that momentum that you have, or you lose, it's harder for people to trust you. It's the same thing with like our fitness journey. And of course we're all going to fall off the wagon. We're human. Like, I like got in the best shape of my life for Summit. And then after Summit, I was like, I just did nothing for like 2 months. I was like, oh, I guess I kind of work out. Oh, I guess, because I just was like, and then I came clean with everybody on my Facebook, and I think it made me more relatable. But when I'm more consistent, I feel like I'm more inspiring to people. People are like, oh, you're so good. Like, how are you, getting in your workouts during Christmas? And I was like, oh, I'm doing it because I know that it's going to help me feel better. Number one, because if I'm not eating, like I get really affected by sugar. Like that's my thing. And if I eat it, I get depressed and I get like in a funk. So I try to stay away from it, but it's so good. So I knew over the holidays, like if I was going to be working out and sharing it with people, that then in January they would be like, oh yeah, Nikki was doing that 21-day fix thing. I want to go to her for my resolutions. So for me, my big thing is like, I like to help other moms who are like in the same place that I was, like feeling like, I can't put myself first. I can't take time for myself, and feeling like I'm just going to be like this forever. And it's just the way it is. And I'm too busy and too tired, way too tired. But the thing is that a lot of people don't realize is like the tiredness can go away. If you work out, you're less, and eat healthy, you're less tired, which is weird, but it's true. So like my passion is helping other moms realize that, and just being able to, find a job that way I can do that is so fulfilling. And I think that's what drives me too. So going back to the whole, like, what is your why? Like, what is going to get you through the hard parts of this business? Those times when you have to like get uncomfortable and, do things you don't want to, like post a picture of yourself in a bikini or in your bra and underwear, and being so scared of the result of that, but then realizing that after you do it and you like exhale, like it's so inspiring to people, and it's the way people are going to relate to you. And, it's always the posts that I feel like I don't plan out that are the ones that are like get the most response, and just trying to be real. And a big takeaway that I took from my Super Saturday was, you probably hear it a lot, but people buy into you way before they buy into Shakeology or the workouts. Like you are your brand. So don't make it about the products. Don't make it about, trying to be like a Lindsay Matway or trying to be an Amy Silverman. Like you are you. And that's why people are attracted to you as a coach, because they want your help. They see you in your journey and they relate to you. And if you make it about yourself and you like make yourself your brand and you just get real, then people are going to come to you and they're going to relate to you rather than you just putting up this like facade of who you think you should be. So that was one of the big things because I think it's so easy to like follow all the leaders and be like, oh my gosh, like, she's doing this and he's doing that. And I always like to say, like, especially too when it comes to picking a platform and growing your cold market, which I have to say, do that before you run out of your warm market, because you just want an easy transition. But if you try to, like, you see like an Instagram training, you're like, oh my gosh, Instagram is so cool, I'm gonna try that. And then you're like, oh wait, YouTube. So like, I like to call it like this shiny ball syndrome that Beachbody coaches have, because if you think about it, this business is like so easy. Like you just invite people to your challenge groups, you help them, and then you ask them to join you. You like join you as a coach. Why do we like complicate things so much? Like, oh my gosh, okay, what kind of training do you have? You have this training? Okay, you have a blog, you have YouTube, you have Instagram. It's just like pick one or two things and just become an expert at them and do them. And my two things are my blog and my Facebook. So I'm trying to move over. I have a like page and I run ads on them and stuff, but I'm trying to move over more to my like page because of the Facebook stuff. But I try to, and I do dabble in other things, but I'm trying to like really hone in on my expertise of those two things and learn as much as those two things, because it's just like Instagram like exhausts me. I can't keep up with it. It's like, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. I'm on Instagram, but it's like my life. It's, if somebody like is attracted to my coaching through Instagram, cool, but I can't tell you that that's where I get all my business. So that's my other tip, is like, just keep it simple. What's that acronym? KISS? Keep it stupid simple. So don't overcomplicate it. And then, back to I'm like not really organized, still all over the place. Back to the belief. So I remember, I will never forget this. My big, so Lindsay asked me keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid. Lindsay asked me if my elite was like in my plan, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was in my plan. And today was like a huge like full circle moment for me, because I remember last year when Brittany Leggett got her elite roses and she took a picture, and she had signed up as a coach in like January, February of last year. And then, or not last year, the year before. And then she, in 1 year, went 5-star elite. And I saw her get those roses, and I said, I want to do that. I want to go 5-star elite in 1 year. And that was my goal. And I just was like, I just focused on that goal, and I helped my coaches get to diamond. And then it kind of just like all fell into place. And then I think working towards that goal and working every day on the small things just kind of led me to where it was. And I met her at Summit, and I asked her for advice, because at Summit I was like 1-star qualifying, and I said, hey, I hear my kid. Why isn't he asleep? And so I asked her, like, what advice do you have? And she said, it's all about belief. If you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything. And so that was like my big takeaway. And I think maybe I should just end it on that note. Otherwise I will go all night talking about this business. So if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can either chat them or we can take you off and let you ask. That is such a cool story. I was just going to ask one question, and that was, I was going to say what made you decide to go for elite, because I always ask you that question, but you already said that. And I wanted to ask if you could share how your daily schedule works. I know we've talked, or I've been in the wall discussions about, nannies and help with the kids and all that, and you're like just getting to that point. And I'm over here where I've been at that point for a little bit. So they already know that I have some sort of help here a couple days a week to kind of give me some focus time. Otherwise, I'm on my phone and like the kids are pulling my hair. And I'm like, what was I going to post? And who just sent me? And then so I was just curious, since you don't have your help, or you may be in that transition right now, what's your schedule?
Today was
Nice.
Okay, so like I said, I'm not organized. So having a schedule has really been a struggle for me. And I'm not good at balance. So I haven't been like the best mom and wife the past year pushing for my goals. But I'm working on that. When I was like really, really, really not organized, but when I was really pushing, I would wake up early. I would like wake up at 5, and then I knew my kids would get up at 7, so I had 2 hours. So I would do like personal development, and then I would do like check in to like do all my groups and everything until they woke up. And then sometimes even if I was really good, I would like listen to personal development while I was making them breakfast. And then I would at nap time do my workout and do like my invites and more follow-ups, and then chat with any coaches. And I also have those hours too. I do acuity scheduling for my coaches. They can schedule calls with me during the day during like that period. And then but the hard thing is like as the years gone on, like my kids got older, the naps change, the wake up times change. But the one thing that's consistent is the evenings. Like my husband and I had a talk from the very beginning about sacrificing evenings with each other, and more so that I can bring him home from his job quicker. So like every night after the kids are in bed, I'm in my office. And now I've kind of transitioned into like where, because my kids have been waking up so early, and it frustrates me when I'm working and they interrupt me, like when it would come down. So I was like, why am I waking up early when I hate waking up early and they interrupt me? So I just wake up when they wake up now, and then I just work later at night. So I stay up late and I work late, and I do my personal development in the evening. So I guess the point here is like be okay with being kind of like open to change and like testing what works, because I know like Melanie Mitchell is so like, I wake up at 5 a.m. I wake up at 5 a.m. Like that doesn't always work for some people. Like I'm a total night owl, and waking up at 5 a.m. Yeah, I can do it. But like I've found it's better now that if I just work at night. And now I have a babysitter she's coming Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays for 2 hours a day starting out. So we'll see. I'm trying to like get more balanced and less Ruby.
That's so funny. I definitely am a Ruby Sapphire, so I feel your pain. Yeah, I have twins, so for me it was like I could not focus. Like when I'm with them, and when I'm not with them, I can focus. Like right now, they're in bed, so now I can work. And I do the same thing. I'll stay up late, and I will, I have some help during the day, a couple days a week, which of course makes it easier. So, I don't know if we have any questions. I haven't seen any come through.
I see. When running challenge groups, I've done maybe 2 to 3 challenge invites, and I get nada. Just have to get more. Gotta invite more people. Because you have to think, I send my coaches this PDF of no's. It's like 100 no's. And so I ask them to just like go for no. There's a book actually called Go for No. So I just ask them to check it off. And that kind of takes the discouragement out of it. It's kind of like a game. Like how many no's can you get? Or like make a game with your team or like your success partner. Like who can get the most no's today? Or who's the fastest to get the most no's? And so that way it's like you're just, first of all, it's good practice. And I always say a no is not a right now, is a not right now. I have a coach I signed yesterday who a year ago I was inviting to my challenge groups and because I was like, she'd be such a good coach. And, after, probably inviting her like 5 months in a row, maybe. And she was like, oh, I'm good. She sent me an email out of the blue. I think I'm ready to start coaching. So like, just keep trying and keep finding new people and, making sure that you're building relationships and growing your cold market. I don't know. I can share, Lindsay, this awesome video that Jatana Jackson did about doing free events. So it's like doing a free challenge group, but as an event, so it's public, and like how she just like gains so many new friend requests that, you know, eventually she's, you know, forms into, she's been on the Team Cup top 10 like 3 times because of this whole process. So I can share that with you, so you can share with your coaches.
Okay,
Right.
that would be awesome. We have another question.
My invite process. So GoPro works kind of more for like, for me, for like my cold market. But if it's my warm market, I just try to be really friendly, and I don't really do a lot of cold inviting. I'll just be talking to people, or they've liked my picture or they've commented on a picture, and I'll just be like I'm doing them a favor. I'll just be like, hey, you know, I saw you like my picture. Just wanted to let you know that I have a couple spots open in my challenge group if you're interested. You know, just keep it really casual and just kind of, you know, not make it so it's just very informal. It's not like, you know, desperate or anything. I just make it feel like, oh, I thought of you. I was thinking of you the other day. You know, I have a spot open in my challenge group. You want to join? You know, so I feel like if you just make it a casual, like throw it in there in the conversation, then it's a lot easier. But you have to be consistently, you know, forming people. So when they say like invite, that's more like connect. So like every day, make sure you're reaching out to new people on your friends list and just like, or commenting on their pictures. So one thing that someone told me one time that really made me think was, you know, when you're putting out your blast on Facebook, like join my next challenge group, there's people that could be watching you that, you know, that they haven't talked to you in so long. They might be thinking, oh my gosh, I would just love to, someone's name here, I would just love to join Jen's challenge group, but I haven't talked to her in so long. Like that would just be weird if I reached out to her. Whereas if you had been connecting with her and like reaching out, when that popped up on her newsfeed, she'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to join Jen's challenge group because like we just talked the other day. I feel comfortable enough to ask her if I could join her. Oh, manage my contacts. So I tried to do the Asana thing and that didn't work. I basically like keep a Google document, and it's not that organized. It's basically like I have a tab for every group I have coming up, and then I add people to it that have expressed interest. And then I highlight, like I write if they purchased or I write their comments, and then I go back to my old tabs. It would be so much easier if I just put everything on one sheet. But for some reason, I just work linear. Like I just work next group. But I'm like a note card and like post-it note kind of person. But I'm digital as far as like my calendar and stuff. It's weird, but I'm more of like a note kind of person. Plus, I'm working in like different areas of my house. So like at my upstairs, you know, in my kitchen, or like down in my office. Just depends on where I am. My resolution this year is to get organized.
Mine too.
It's so hard. I'm like, I need more emerald. My husband is an emerald. That's why I'm like, gotta retire you. You can do all of this stuff for me.
What does your husband do?
He does e-commerce for health and fitness. Well, it's wellness. It's vitamins. But his background is health and fitness. He was a food science nutrition major. So he's like, oh, we could do this on your website. And I'm like, yeah, come do it.
So when's his retired date or your goal date?
My goal date is March. Well, this one says March 1st, but I was changed it to March 31st. But we'll see. Got to see some big resolution effect happening if that's gonna happen. So, oh, one other thing I forgot to talk about with the gems. When I plugged into knowing what my coach's gems were, that was a huge turning point for my business, because I was pushing my goals on a lot of them that were like pearls who hate deadlines and hate not hate goals, but don't like the pressure. And as soon as I stopped with and I learned all their different gems, it was amazing. And the girl who I was pushing so hard so I could go to the freaking party at Summit, she just went diamond. I was like, I just let off from her. I was like, okay, it'll happen when it happens. How can you tell what gym a person is? So there's a quiz that Shay Stanford has on our website. I can send that too.
I think I have it in our training page.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I have the same quiz because I'm pretty sure I got it off the wall.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I mean, I just took the quiz recently. I just kind of, based on what I read about the gyms, like, and what motivates them, I picked what I thought I was, and I was right. And I can kind of tell now just talking to people, and when people are emailing me and asking me about coaching, I can tell, like, Emeralds have to read everything and research everything, and then pearls are like a lot of teachers and nurses. They like to help people. That's what motivates them, is helping people. Rubies are like driven by like rank and recognition and income, and then sapphires just like to have fun. They like want everything. They just want to like do all the fun stuff. So, and emeralds are also really, really, really organized in like spreadsheets and stuff.
I'm pretty sure I'm 0 emerald.
I had like 5 pearl, 2 emerald, and then like tons of ruby, and then the rest sapphire.
Yeah, that was, I will say, I went to Danny Johnson's training, her first step seminar. I went, I had just gone to a Success Club trip, and I went to her training like right after, and I learned of her through Tommy Migrant, because I learned of her, back in 2011.
I love her.
Yeah, he goes, we were in the Bahamas, and he said to my husband, he's like, I would, go to that event over Summit. And he's like, it teaches you how to build this business. And so my husband was like, go home and sign up for this event. And I'm like, okay. And the spouse was like $100 extra. And I was like, check. And he was like, I'm not going. I'm like, yes, you are. But anyways, that was the greatest thing, because you go like through the gems, and she's like, own your personality. Like, this is you. Own it. Like, be proud of it. But then she'll warn you, like, but the pearls don't run like the rubies. So when you bring in pearls, like, make sure you're motivating them properly and not motivating them the way you're motivated. So it was really eye-opening, and that I do believe plays a huge role. And I will say, like, you do sometimes get tripped up and you're like, back in your ruby, like, and then you're like, no, wait, there, pearl. I gotta get back to that. But that's like, if you want to hit goals and you've got people, you've really got to like figure out like how, what are they in here for? And there's got to be a purpose behind what they're doing, especially the pearls. Like, they're helping people get healthier and everything, but there has to be a purpose for them, because otherwise they're just going to get frustrated with like 100 no's, and they don't care about the income. So they're just going to, throw the towel in, I guess you could say, or at least that's been my experience. And then they're just kind of loyal, like they're just there. So you want to be able to, and if you are a pearl, I want you to just hear me when I say, like, it's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that personality at all. You just, you have to remember what your purpose is, and like the fact that we cannot reach the people you guys can reach. So that's why we need more coaches, and that's why we are freely sharing, Nikki's sharing her tips, and that's why we have National Wake Up Calls, and they're sharing their top tips, because they know that they cannot reach the chunk of people that you influence and that you can reach. And that there's, and for Success Club 10, one thing that I did was in my first year, I was taught, and I'm an orphan, so I don't have anyone to really teach me anything, but someone said, go for Success Club 5 or 6, and then hold on tight till you get to the next month, right? And I followed that direction, like, hold your people to the first, and then start again. And this is the first year, 2014, this this is my second year, so this past year, I was like, I'm not holding people. I'm just going to the 31st or the 30th, and I'm going to let them all the way up to the 30th by, and I'm not holding anybody. And I'm going to go for 10 plus, and if I'm at 8, I'm going to go for another one. And if I'm at, 9, I'm going to go for another one. And I did, like you did, the All-Stars. I've hit Success Club every month, but I held them, like with a scarcity mindset. And so this is the first year I was like, no, I'm going like all in for these people. And so they said this weekend at our Super Saturday, that's the one thing that you want to know, and I can say this, is there's an abundance of people. There's always people. It's just talking to a lot of people, building that relationship with them, constantly being in relationships with people. I have people who purchased this month that were supposed to purchase a year ago, just like you have a coach who signed up who was supposed to sign up a year ago, or who you were hoping would sign up a year ago. So anyways, yes.
I think John C. Maxwell talks about the law of abundance. I think it was him. And I've always done that. Like last February when 21 Fix came out, 21 Day Fix, I had like my highest Success Club. I had like 36.
Yep.
It was also Team Cup too. So I was like,
yep. Well, momentum there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I was just like, I always thought about law of abundance. Feel like the more that you help, the more that will come. The more that you push, the more that will come. So not push them, like force them, but like, I mean, you push yourself. And I always say, like, if I'm uncomfortable, like if I'm like feeling uncomfortable, I know that I'm doing it right, because it's like pushing me to get out of my comfort zone. Like if I'm uncomfortable at posting, a transformation picture, or if I'm uncomfortable, like, doing 10 invites, and I know I need to, I know I have to do that, because that's why I feel uncomfortable, because I'm trying to be safe and comfy.
I feel like I built safe and comfy for a while. I'm like, what was I thinking? Somehow, some way it's managed to work out, but I'm just like, I wonder where I'd be right now if I would have just like really gone at it. This is just so cool. So, do we have any other questions? If you guys haven't read about the law of abundance and you are completely uncomfortable with in trying to just get 5 points, I would look it up. I would find a book and read about it. And are you on Shay's team?
No, but I was adopted into the Bombshell Dynasty, so I know a lot of their stuff.
Gotcha. Are you on their team? Are you who?
My upline is actually Jason Diebold, but
no kidding. He is. I am under him somewhere too.
So my coach's coach, like my grandfather? He is Jason's PS coach, but he gave his business to his dad and quit for 6 months, and then transferred under Katie Hefner, they're married now. So, So that's how, and then Katie became my mentor, because like he was still kind of like helping my coach, and then I signed up, and then he saw something in me and was like, hey, Katie, you need to like help this girl. And basically I just did everything she said. She just would be like, do this and do this. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I was like, okay, here I am. So,
that's awesome. So you're under Jason.
Yep.
But
he doesn't know, I just reached out to him recently, because he was, like, I would be on his leaderboards and he would tag someone else. I was like, that's me.
He's got a lot. He's got a big team.
I know. So.
Yeah. That's so cool. So we're actually cross-line team then.
Yeah, that's so funny. We're in the same family.
Yep.
We're cousins or something.
So crazy.
Your call is huge, by the way. I was like so proud that my team filled up one page and you have like two. I didn't even know you could like do 2 pages. Hey, everybody on page 2. This is cool. This is like the biggest call I think I've talked on. Well, I did the bombshell call, like the instant presenter, but that's not like the same. You don't have all the faces.
Yeah. We used to do Instant Presenter, and then I just kind of decided it'd be fun to see faces more often. And so I was like, I don't know if you need slides. We just like to see each other and chat.
Yeah.
So, okay, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to let Nikki go back to work because I know she's probably got an inbox full right now. So she just gave me the GEMS quiz. I believe it's the same. Well, I'll just check it out and see. I'm almost positive this is the same thing. But thank you so much. It's so cool to hear that you're under Jason too, because that means if he throws anything, events and stuff, then we will. Obviously I'll see you at the elite events coming up.
Yeah.
So cool, right? And you got your flowers?
I did, and I did the workout today, the 21-day fix extreme.
Oh, you're not going to be able to move.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, compared to Insanity Max 30, it was kind of like not bad at all. But I miss weights. I'm going to be sore. I miss doing weights.
That's what I mean. Like, we did it on Saturday, and I'm like, sit down, out, and we didn't even have weights. It was tough. Definitely, you know how she works. Autumn is good stuff. So thank you again. I don't think I have any other questions that I'm seeing. If, you guys go over and tell Nikki thank you on her wall.
Oh, thank you.
Johnson.
Nikki Johnson.
Really appreciate you taking time to just share your story and your top tips for everybody. I know we have a lot of people on here who badly want to be elite coaches, so it's always nice to hear.
You can do it. Thanks for having me. Sorry I'm so like bleh, but I hope that my tips kind of helped, and it was really fun. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, guys, have a great night, and I will have this recording up. And if you can get me the free group thing as well, that'd be awesome. All right. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Nikki. Bye.
Bye.